I do enjoy food, and I enjoy a lot of the different experiences that you can have through food. Actually remember in elementary school, our library had like 2 cookbooks in it, and I checked them out repeatedly. And in high school, I would host parties, but not like parties that you'd think, but I would have dinner parties where I would just cook a bunch of food and invite people over, and we'd throw a bowl out on the table, say, if you want to chip in a couple bucks to help pay for the food, that's great, but you know, then people would just come and hang out. I come from a family of entrepreneurs and business owners. My grandparents on one side were farmers, which is, I guess you would say, self-employed. On my dad's side of the family, they owned a couple of businesses around the New London and Manawa areas. My parents owned restaurants, bar, grill up north around Eagle River, and so it really didn't seem like a foreign concept to me. So I was actually 18 when I got involved with ownership and self-employment and owning restaurants. The best of the story that I got, or at least I've been able to cobble together over the years from talking to various people, Josef started here in 2003. He was of Iranian descent. He escaped Iran in the late 80s, early 90s, and his background when he was in Iran, he was actually an engineer, I believe, working in the oil fields. So that skill set didn't translate when he immigrated to the United States, so that's how he found himself in the restaurant business. We took over in 2014, the summer of 2014. It was at an interesting point in our family's life. Nikki, my wife, was pregnant with our second child, and we were running one restaurant at the time, and it was kind of a moment of realization that as a self-employed person, you don't get promotions just handed to you. Nobody's just going to give you more money for doing what you're doing. Either you have to grow your business, or you need to figure out something else to do. Well, I saw it as an opportunity to, in a way, grow the business even though we were doing something else, which was admittedly a pretty big gamble at the time, considering, again, my wife was pregnant with our second child, to be taking on a second business. But we made it work, and we've been going strong. So we've got 3 different sizes: the big, the small, and the slim. And the small, the middle size, is our most popular. It's what we would usually consider a regular size gyro. The big is really enough for 2 people, but it's, or one very healthy eater, I guess. But yeah, the gyros, I mean, it is Josef's gyros, so people primarily come here for the gyros. First time in? Yes. All right, give you a moment to look over the menu there.
Thank you.
They are all prepared to order. A lot of times when you're ordering gyros, it's just a frozen slab, and they put it on a flat top, and it's not a true gyro. We dress ours a little bit differently. Traditional gyros would just be tomatoes, onions, kind of a thicker cut with the cucumber sauce, and then the gyros meat. We also add a little cilantro for a fresh pop, and a little lettuce for some added crunch in there, and then a squeeze of fresh lime juice on it. So it's really simple, and we make literally hundreds of them a day, so it gets kind of repetitive, but just those things done well, just simple but executed well, is what it is. I don't have a lot of hobbies like some people might. My hobbies generally consist of researching restaurant concepts and seeing what works, and playing with Adobe Suite, putting together logos and menus and floor plans, and putting together rough idea business plans, and kind of hashing stuff out to see what would work. And these are the things that I lose sleep on, or I spend nights doing, is playing with these ideas to see if I can make anything work. And that's, I don't know if it's good or bad, but my passion and hobbies are kind of one and the same with my job, so I can't really delineate one from the other. My wife will ask me, like, "Oh, are you working?" I'm like, "No, actually, I'm working on my hobby right now, but it looks like work." So, yeah, when you're passionate about things and you enjoy the thing that you're doing, people say, well, do you go home and do you cook? Yeah, I do actually. Like, I'm not burned out on it at the end of the day. I do very much enjoy going home and preparing new things, and that hasn't been taken away by what I do. It's not like I've killed my passion by making it my job. We are delivering something that is really special and different from anything else in the valley. Not just the food itself, but just the experience. That this is one of those hole-in-the-wall type restaurants that people just naturally seek out and want to talk about, like they're in on some sort of a secret. In other businesses that I've been a part of, I haven't seen that kind of reaction to it, where people want to talk about it and tell people about this great little spot that they found. And so that's been really, really cool about this place. Part of our success is that you have found this small, unique thing, and that's the experience. I think everybody has this desire to serve people, and that hospitality of having people over and have a party and make sure people are well cared for and fed and happy. And so, the restaurant industry, that's what it's supposed to be about. And I think that's why so many people have that pipe dream. They talk about, well, one day I want to do something like this. I want to have a coffee shop, or I want to have a small restaurant, because it's like having a party every day that you go get up and, you get this approval when you're doing something well and people acknowledge it. They say, that was a fantastic meal, that was great, that was the best gyro I've ever had. I came in because somebody recommended this to me and it far exceeded my expectations. And that is so enriching. At the end of the day, we all need to find a way to live the life that we have, and I've been fortunate enough to find a way to do it for myself and kind of under my own terms. Just the ability to get married and raise a family and be able to provide for them, doing something that is my own. It's very rewarding to be able to say, this is ours. And I don't ever expect to hand it down to my kids or push them into the business. In fact, I would advise them to, follow their passion and do something else if that's what they want. But the fact that we've been able to provide well for them through all of that is pretty rewarding.